Today we're starting our journey into Unit 4, and we're going to start by looking at Unit 4, Module 1, Session 2, homework pages 69 and 70. Unit 4 is basically all about place value to begin with, and then it moves into extra work with addition and subtraction. So if we look at our homework for the first part, we're looking at place value. On the bottom of your screen, you'll notice that I wrote out each of our digits for where they are, because I think that's going to be really helpful for students. They should be able to see that here we have our decimal point, and just as a quick review from Unit 3, I also added in our decimal tenths, even though that doesn't come up today. So then if we take a look, we have ones, tens, hundreds. This comma is really important to remind students about that. That's how we know that separates the hundreds from the thousands. And then we have thousands and 10,000s. So if we're looking at matching descriptors of where they belong, letter A says there is an even number with a 6 in the hundreds place. Well, if I take a look, I see two numbers that have a 6 in the hundreds place. The example already chose one of them, so I know that's actually out. So I only have one option left, plus that 8 tells me it's going to be an even number. This number is equal to 30,000 plus 4,000 plus 80 plus 2. This is called expanded form and something we've been practicing quite a bit in class. So students should be able to see that the 3 is in the 10,000s, the 4 is in the thousands, the 8's in the tens, and the 2 is in the ones. C, this number is 1,000 less than 46,000, so we know that's 45,000. And D, this is an odd number with a 6 in the thousands. We only have one left. We're going to take our information from our chart above, and we're going to use it to write these numbers, or these numbers in words. So if we look at our example, we're even writing out what the digits are. So 17 is in words, 3 and 21 are all in words. So if we look at A, we have 33,000. And when students are writing this out, I really want to see that comma after the word thousand. We have nothing in the hundreds, and so we don't even need to write the hundreds down. Then we just go ahead and we say 72. You will notice I put a hyphen in there between the 70 and the 2 to show that they're connected. B, we have 86,000. Again, that comma is really important. 100, since there's nothing in the tens, we don't need to say that. 105. Another word to make sure that we avoid is the word and. The word and tells us a decimal, and we don't have any numbers that are decimals, so we want to make sure we get rid of that. And last but not least, we have 74,000, comma, 629. All right, let's take a look at our challenge. Write an even number that has a 7 in the hundreds place, has an odd number in the thousands place, and is a multiple of 10. So we know that we have a thousands place, comma, a hundreds, a tens, and a ones place. Being a multiple of 10 tells us that it has to end in a 0 in the ones place. It says a 7 has to be in the hundreds. It doesn't really matter for our other two numbers, except this has to be odd. So that would mean it could be a 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9. So let's pick 5. And doesn't matter over here, it could be any number, we'll pick a 3. Alright, taking a look, it says Felipe's family is driving to see his grandmother. Altogether, they have to drive 856 miles. They have gone 269 miles so far. How much farther do they have to drive? In your child's head, they might be able to pick up on the fact that this is a subtraction problem, and all you have to do is subtract those two. Since we have yet to really talk about subtraction, what I'm thinking they want our children to do is that they want them to do a number line and start at 269, and we're going to end at 856. And we have to figure out how much more do we need to go in order to get there. They're getting really good at number lines and doing the easy numbers. So we're going to add 1 to get to 270. Then let's add 30 to get to 300. Then we're going to do this big jump all the way over here where we add 500. That's going to get us to 800. And then we have 56 left. Addition tends to be easier than subtraction, so if we look at this as an addition problem, now we just have to add up all of our things that we've added to reach our answer. So we have 500, 56, 30, and 1. When we add them all up, we have 587, and of course we're going to put our unit miles. Number 5, in our classroom library we had 326 books. We gave 38 books to our 4th grade classroom, but our teacher got 97 more books for our classroom library. How many books do we have in our classroom library now? So we started off with 326. Then we gave away 38. And then with that answer, we gained 97 more. So you can think of it writing it out that way, or again, I'm going to go back to that number line. I'm not going to put 326 at the end because I know I have to go backwards 38. So to start with, I can go backwards 26, and switch to a different color, because that's going to be really easy. That gets me to 300. Now I have to figure out how many more do I have to go back to get to a total of 38. Well, if I go back 2 more, that gets me to 298. So that's 28. Now I can go back 10. So that's going to get me to 288. Now from there, I have to add 97. So this is where things get a little complicated. So we have 288 here. We're going to add 97 to it. So starting here, lots of different ways that you can do this. I could start by going back 12 and then working forward from there. I could jump 90, I could jump 7. It's kind of your child's choice. It might be easy for them to jump 7 actually, because then that gives us an easier number to add. So if I do 7, that's going to get me to 295. Now I need to add 90 more. Well, I can go by 10 to make sure I'm not making mistakes. So 305, and now I have 80 more to add. 305 plus 80, 385. And of course we're going to put our label of books. Alright, our challenge for today says, at a school fair, students were guessing how many jelly beans were in a jar. Nikki guessed there were 296 jelly beans. Caitlin guessed there were 435. Samaria guessed a number that was 52 more than Caitlin and Nikki's put together. What was Samaria's guess? So basically all we're going to do is we're going to add them together. 296 plus 435. And if it's 52 more, that tells me I'm going to just add it all together. When we do the standard algorithm, 6 plus 5 is 11, plus 2 more is 13. 1 plus 9 is 10, plus 3 is 13, plus 5 is 18. And then 100 plus 200 plus 400 equals 700. So Samaria's guess was 783 jelly beans. One thing coming up is we will be talking about different ways to add together. This is just one method, and you'll see coming up that there are some other ways we can do it as well.